Hey guys, Marsengan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and so we are only a couple of days away now from the 9 EZA'S releasing on both Global and JP for Saiyan Day. We were expecting to get a reveal of the information earlier today. It's unknown whether we are in fact going to get this at the usual time now tonight, or / tomorrow morning for me in the UK. Or whether this is going to be handled differently, because it is the same time celebration and there are 9 units getting an EZA, and one of them, the one we have up here, the LR, Beerus and Whis, is the only one for which the details have actually been released already. So we are currently still waiting on the info for the 8 other units that are getting an EZA. We obviously do know who they are already, so we're going to go through and have a look on this video. I'm going to talk about what things I would like to see from them, as well as the few things that you guys can do to prepare for these EZAs, because a couple of them are sub-EZAs and the medals are available now. I'm sure you guys probably know what most of them are at this point, but we're going to sit and go through them, and I'll be very interested to know your guys' thoughts on what you are expecting to see down below. So the first one, as you can see, is LR, Beerus and Whis. As I said, the only one that we actually have details for. They are looking pretty good post EZA. So they're of that leader skill format where they go to Super STR 4 key 120 and then Extreme 3 key 90%. So realistically, in this day and age, you're never going to use them as a leader, apart from like maybe in Battlefield. Now, for both of their super attacks, they raise attack and defense and heal. Their 18 key is a greatly raise and then a 15% heal with Mega Colossal, and the 12 key is normal raise, colossal damage and recovers 10%. It is for one turn, the defense raise. Well, an attack. It's not stacking, but obviously still very good. One of the biggest changes when we look at their passive that definitely benefits them greatly is they get 7 key at the start of the turn, as well as attack and defense 150%. This is really, really good, because obviously for links wise, you're going to want to try and get them linked up with a Beerus or a Whis unit in order for them to get a lot of their links active. But if you want to run them on a Realm of Gods team that is more Saiyan centric, because nowadays, until we see what the details are obviously for the Beerus and the Whis' EZAs, you know, the Saiyan Realm of Gods units are the top tier units on that team in the current meta. So if these guys aren't sharing any key links with them, it's going to benefit them massively that they get 7 key at the start of the turn. So they have a medium chance to crit, then they get an additional attack and defense 70%, high chance to dodge for 7 turns after receiving an attack. So they are one of those units where they have to get hit first, but once they take that first hit, not only do they get a buff, they then get that 50% chance to dodge, and then they launch an additional super attack guaranteed if HP is 70% or less when attacking. So the interesting thing about this is if you're using them on a very Saiyan-centric Realm of Gods team, and say, for example, you just want to use them as a 3rd slot floating unit, that when HP 70% or less is when attacking. So it means if your unit in slot 1 or 2 eats a super and you drop below 70% HP, then these guys attack in slot 3, they get a guaranteed additional super, and both of their super attacks are healing you. So they actually could be very, very useful even as an off-rotation unit. And then if you are running them on main rotation, this can kind of serve to counteract the fact that they could take a lot of damage from the first attack they receive of the turn, as long as they don't die, right? So say you eat a super as the first attack before you've gotten your buff. So they obviously don't have built-in dodge at that point. They eat a super, but you survive. They could then potentially dodge the rest of the attacks that come at them. Then they get to attack. They get a guaranteed additional. You obviously also have the chance to get the additional from the hidden potential as well. And then all of those super attacks are healing you. And unless you're fighting a boss that can double super, you're not going to get supered for the rest of the turn. So depending on the strength of the rest of your team, you're not really going to take damage for the rest of the turn anyway. That means they're going to significantly heal back a lot of the damage that they took. So that is definitely very good. I think this EZA is looking very, very strong. So looking forward to trying them out in game, but they certainly look very good. Once we get the details for their Extreme Z battle, obviously I will make a team building guide, but for now, as far as I know, we don't know what the weakness category is going to be. It is an LR EZA, so obviously you want to prioritize legendary power, but we don't know yet what the category is going to be. So moving on to the next 5, these are the 5 units that are going to EZA as part of the single Extreme Z battle for the Battle of Gods units. So it's kind of like the Fusions, the Peppy Gals, or like the Heroes one, where you do the 130 stage Extreme Z battle and it will EZA all 5 of these units. So again, we don't know any details about that Extreme Z battle yet, but once we do know the weakness category and everything, I will make a team building guide for that one as well. Now, in Beerus, this guy has a lot of potential because he has a 6-turn stack defense super attack effect. So raises defense by 30% for 6 turns. That means you can get a couple of stacks off this. So if you're getting additionals during the same turn, those will all be building up your defense. If they add, like, imagine if they made this attack and defense as well, or if they just increase it from, say, 6 turns to 9, this could be very, very effective. And then when we look at his passive, it is just a complete blank slate, right? Attack 120% when performing a super. Now, the thing about attack on super buffs is these take into account, like, all support on the rotation and things like that. So if they give this guy a solid, like, attack and defense base at the start of the turn, then when he's getting this 120% on super, depending on who else you have on the rotation, links you have active, support and stuff like that, he could actually end up hitting quite hard, which would be very interesting. He is a nuke leader as well, so I think his EZA, if I remember rightly, it will go up to, like, it's just like 35% per key sphere obtained, which is really only useful for, like, the punching bag events and stuff like that, right? But could be very interesting. I have a feeling that this guy could be very good. When you consider how old the STR and Tech Beerus EZAs are, unless they completely fumble this guy, he's probably going to become the best standalone Beerus until physical Beerus gets his EZA. So very much looking forward to seeing what this guy can do. Then we have the Int God Goku. So this guy, again, very much a blank slate. Supreme damage to the enemy and lowers defense, so no real good super attack effect. Hopefully they'll add something interesting there. And then his passive is attack and defense 80% when HP is 30% or above. So that means currently, if you're at 29% HP or less, this unit has 0 passive, which is obviously not good, right, in the current meta, especially when the current meta, bosses can super attack you and damn near one-shot you, so you potentially will live, but below 30% HP, right? So what I would like to see from this guy based on this, like, very bare bones kit is just make him a very solid unit, give him a good amount of attack and defense at the start of the turn, and then compound on that by giving him this extra attack and defense, but then make it when HP is like a higher restriction, right? So say he has like 150% at the start of the turn, then give him an extra 80% when you're at, like, I guess they could change it to 30% or less, although that's a difficult metric to get to, or change it to like 70% or above. So when you're on full health, he's really powerful, but if you drop below this extra buff being active, he still has a good base to work from. And then obviously they could throw in any sort of abilities like dodge, crit, additional damage reduction, guard. Like, obviously there's a long list of things that they can give units with EZAs, and I don't want to speculate. I've mentioned this in previous videos. People are tempted when they make these like concepts to just throw like guard, damage reduction, stacking on like every single unit. Now I could see him getting 1 or 2 interesting abilities as part of his passive, but I'm not expecting him to become an absolute god. But he certainly could be very good. Remember, though, as a God Goku, he is competing for spots on the rotation with the new Dokkan Fest, with the LR that already has its EZA on Global, the Tech one that is still one of the best defensive units in the game for certain events. So it'd be interesting to see what they do with this guy. They can't do it for all of the God Gokus that are EZAing, but them becoming really good slot 3 floating units that provide support to the team would probably be the most useful use for them, right? Because you're most likely using the Dokkan Fest God Goku as a slot 1 unit. So next up we have Rage Vegeta and Bulma. This has been one of my favourite units in the game. When they first came out, this was great. It was a global first. I went ham, rainbowed them on their first banner. It was a guaranteed featured per multi-banner, so it wasn't like that was a super crazy whale session. But this unit I've always really enjoyed, and I'm a little bit scared because we've seen over the last couple of years units that have counters very often get like underpowered EZAs. Just look at physical Super Vegito, but at the same time look at Tech Great Saiyaman 3. whilst he is restricted to being run on a team where you have to run him with basically like full time traveler allies, so heroes or just a straight up time travelers team, when you run him on that team, he's really good. I made the take on Twitter a while ago that people didn't really agree with until they, you have to specify that we're talking about them at their best full potential. Great Saiyaman 3 is better than Physical Super Vegeta. The only way he's not is that he's basically locked to that one team, whereas Physical Super Vegeta is the same on all of his teams, essentially. But when they're at their best, on their best team, Great Saiyaman 3 is better than Physical Super Vegeta, and he is very, very good. So I haven't lost all hope, but I guess we'll see. Now, the interesting thing about what they're going to do with his kit is that he's a counter unit, obviously, and then he has a rage mode. So the rage mode is when HP is 30% or less. It's not an active skill, it just happens. So this can change with an EZA. Be cool if they increase this. We saw obviously Int Cell went from 30 to 40%. That would be pretty cool. And then once we transform, something I would really like to see from this is things that they've been doing with recent rage modes or giant forms, where we get something like guaranteed crits. Imagine if they went crazy on him like they did with, say, Orange Piccolo's transformation, where not only is he getting crits, but he has like a chance to additional. So then on the actual God RNG turn, he's doing like 9 supers that are all crits. That would actually be insane. So that's something I would love to see. The only thing I guess that would be interesting is, as a counter unit, you want to give him crits for his base hidden potential. So then when he transforms, if he's getting guaranteed crits, that's kind of wasted. But his rage mode is literally like a one-turn thing, right? So that's fine. Be interesting, I don't know if they've ever done this in the past, where they change it so that it can actually be for multiple turns. Because obviously giant forms can be 1 to 3 turns. But certain things like this rage mode will only be 1 turn, like same with Namek Super Saiyan Goku. It'd be kind of interesting if they changed it so that it had the ability to last for multiple turns, but I don't know if that's even a thing they can do with EZA'S. But this guy obviously will up his base attack and defense, give him like raising attack and defense for 1 turn on Super would be pretty nice, and then maybe like damage reduction before he attacks, so he could be a slot 1 unit. That would be pretty cool. I'm really hoping that they don't fumble this guy, because he's also a 5 link partner with that new Tech Vegeta, so running them together as a rotation could be quite fun. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they do with him. So then we have the 2 Whis as the last 2 units from that 5-unit Extreme Z battle, the Tech one and the Int one. Unfortunately, these are both units that only have 6 links, and we've seen in the past that they don't give extra links when they do the EZA'S, which is kind of unfortunate. Now, the Int one is the one that I'm looking forward to seeing and will potentially be the better one, because he is a support unit. So as long as they make him like red zone runnable, like give him decent attack and defense at the start of turn, maybe give him like raise his defense for 1 turn on Super or something like that, he's going to be a unit that you can float in slot 3 and provide support to the rest of the team. He's obviously going to be providing those links for units like the LR, Beerus and Whis. So this guy could actually see use if he becomes defensively viable to run in the red zone, because support units that you're actually able to run in the red zone that aren't just going to immediately get you destroyed are obviously very valuable. So definitely looking forward to that one. And then the Tech one, unfortunately, whilst his kit is very open wide for them doing sort of whatever they want, his only real ability is that he can stun and he debuffs the enemy's attack. Both of these things you can't do in a lot of the hardest content in the game. So in terms of how they could make him really good, there's just a whole bunch of stuff they could do. They could focus solely on his sole performance. Like say you wanted to run him on main rotation with Beerus and Whis, they want to make him like an actual main rotation worthy unit. Whilst he could keep these debuff abilities as part of his kit, they could give him like a high built-in dodge chance, they could give him decent like on super attack effects, make his start of turn attack and defense actually really high. There's quite a few things they could do that could make him worth running, or just make him a support unit as well, even though he doesn't have it in his base kit. And then both the Whis could be good supports, and it'd be fun for running like non-Saiyan themed Realm of Gods units if both of these guys become runnable support units. And then last but not least, we have the sub EZA'S. These guys are from the Ultra Instinct Goku EZA, the Int one. So these guys, you can pre-farm their medals now. The medals, it's like 12 bronze, 20 silver, 12 gold, and 12 rainbow. So to do all of them, you obviously need to get 36 bronze, gold, and rainbow, and 60 silver. So if you haven't done it already, you can start pre-farming those, because then once the EZA'S officially go live in the game, you can just awaken them all straight away. That is something that I have already done. Now, AGL God Goku, again, look at this passive. He's just an open book, right? They could do anything. He's an infinite attack stacker, so giving him some chance to build built-in additional would definitely be very, very good. Give him good start of turn attack and defense, and then because he's getting this buff on super, as we've already said, if you're running him with some support, he could definitely end up looking good. A lot of people are hoping he's going to be really good because this is the Universe Survival Saga version of God Goku, who is obviously on reps of Universe 7, which means if he is good, he's another buff for the Blue Kaioken Goku, who already has his EZA on JP. So that'll be another step towards making that team really, really strong for the most difficult content. Then we have the STR God Goku. So again, this guy, basically same passive, right? Gets his attack and defense on super, does supreme damage, and he has attack and defense raise 30% for 3 turns. So bump this up to at least 6, maybe 9 if they're feeling really generous. And then again, give him some decent stats, maybe give him some kind of built-in tech like dodge, damage reduction, additional, maybe even support. Like I said, if any of these God Gokus become like slot 3 supports that are very runnable, that's where they're probably going to get the most value, because you've already got those other God Gokus that are vying for #1 position on your team. So like if they make one of these units just a straight up like damage dealer, and that's basically all they do, you're probably going to be running Dokkan Fest God Goku if you have him over them. And then if you're fighting a movie boss or a pure Saiyan, even though they might do more damage, you're going to be running the tech one over them, right? So I hope they do something interesting with these God Gokus. And then the last one is this blue Goku from the Future Saga. The only reason he's getting his EZA is because he also is a sub EZA for UI Goku. He awakens to TUR from the UI Goku medals, because I would never have expected him to get an EZA during this celebration, right? A Battle of Gods themed celebration, which was the debut of Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan Blue didn't even exist, and a Super Saiyan Blue Goku is getting an EZA during that celebration. But the reason is obviously because he's from the same set of sub EZAs, and as so far in Dokkan history, they have not released like some of the sub EZAs and not just all of them at the same time. I had a thought that maybe they could do that and hold him back for a Future Saga celebration or something, but they've obviously, with him getting it now, it's pretty clear they're just always going to do all the sub EZAs at the same time, even if one of them doesn't fit the theme. So this guy is just a very basic unit as well. Supreme damage on super, attack and defense at start of turn, extra attack if there's 2 or more enemies. So it'd be interesting if they lean into this and give them a whole bunch of extra buffs against multiple enemies. Only really helps you in Super Battle Road and like 1 or 2 red zone stages. But there's plenty of blue Gokus in the game, so it's not like he desperately needs to be good, otherwise there's no blue Gokus to use, right? So be interesting to see what they do for him. Obviously he's not like top priority for this celebration because he's not a God Goku, but is he on the God Goku leader skill? No, because he's not on, yeah, no, he's not on Exploding Rage or Power of Wishes. So if he's not that great, I don't think many people would be super disappointed, but obviously at this point we want all EZAs to be good, so hopefully he will be solid as well. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Which one of the 9 EZAs are you most looking forward to? For me, it is definitely this guy. Obviously I am very much looking forward to using these guys as well. I really hope this guy is very solid so we can have a good rotation with them together. But overall, very excited for these EZAs. At the time that this video goes up, hopefully we'll see the info within the next like 8 or 9 hours, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. So let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.